You're listening to Radio Kidnappers, the voice of Hawke's Bay. This is the program called Homeopathy On Air. It's our pleasure, as always, to have in the studio Heidi back from Thrive Homeopathy in Napier for the first time this year. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
You been well?
Absolutely. Been very well. Didn't even need my hangover remedy.
Good on you. Now, before we get into today's topic, which is a first aid or homeopathic remedies for first aid and a short course that you're running, just remind our listeners what your show's all about.
Well, my show is really just about offering options, informing people about this wonderful form of medicine, homeopathy, and just informing people. And I think that is essential, that we just have choice, and we need to make informed decisions about our health, take back responsibility for our health and well-being, and that's what I just try to do here.
If you had to put a number on it worldwide, how many people actually use homeopathic remedies in one form or another?
Millions, absolutely millions. It's been around for over 200 years, and famous people use it and have always used it, and it works.
It's big in some countries, isn't it?
It is. It's huge, and some governments actually fund it, so you have the option to go either to a GP or to a homeopath, such as Switzerland. Cuba was really big before it opened up a few years ago. India, huge. They even have hospitals, just homeopathic hospitals. The doctors work alongside homeopathic doctors, and it's France is big as well, Germany. So that, yes, there are many countries.
And if we were to come and see you and have a bit of a chin wag about whether or not homeopathy remedies might work for us, how do we do that?
Well, very easy. You can either check out my website, thrivehomeopathy.co.nz, and you'll find all the information and the Google map and address and so on. Or you call 021-335233 or text and arrange for an appointment. I offer free initial 15-minute chats for you to ask your questions, and if you're unsure about homeopathy or if I'm the right fit for you, then we can clarify that before you come for a consultation.
And they have a holistic approach to consultation. It's not just come in and say, oh yeah, you've got this, here you go, off you go. You don't do that.
No. I mean, usually we talk about your diet, and often people just have a very poor diet, not very balanced, or if you have gout, for example, then, I will give some advice, what kind of foods to avoid, which ones to eat more, what to drink, what to avoid. If you have, lots of phlegm, then I will give the advice to lay low on dairy until the chest infection, the sinuses have improved. Lots of things like that, and also quite a few things from a few generations back. What did grandmother do to bring down a fever, to help with a cough, a cold? And people are really astounded. Oh my gosh, that I can do that. And I get texts. I tried that. I did that tea, and it worked really well. So yes, I try and do it as holistic as possible, and also will offer complementary things such as some supplements, some vitamins, minerals, if required.
What if I'm taking, for want of a better word, traditional medicine? Does homeopathy work complementary to traditional medicine? Or?
Absolutely. And that's the thing where the skeptics out there and the critics of homeopathy and complementary medicine, they seem to have this vision, it's an either or. But we are not that opinion. We believe that actually we should be working together, because after all, it's in the best interest of our clients, of the patient, to be well again. And if that means combining, and there is a place for steroids, there is a place for antibiotics, but as we know, the resistance towards antibiotics is coming up quickly. So people will be dying of simple infections, which could be avoided if we hadn't overdone it with antibiotics. What's the secret to overdosing on antibiotics? Have less and less of them, and then when you need to use them, they're effective. Exactly. Often, for example, my daughter's wisdom teeth were taken out, and we were automatically prescribed antibiotics. And I said, we don't need those. There is no infection. And we were told there will be dry socket, and, it's all going to be very painful. We had buckets loads of pills for pain. We didn't need any of that. And that's where actually we come to the
Yes,
the
indeed.
homeopathic first aid. I gave her arnica, and I would like to clarify. Everyone says, "Oh yeah, I use arnica," but often people use arnica cream, for example. Now that is not homeopathic; that's naturopathic. Homeopathic arnica would actually be these tiny white sugar pills, and you take it internally. That would be the homeopathic.
Yes.
And the cream on top, yes, definitely use it as well. But so in her case, we did that after the operation, and it helped with the bleeding. It stopped quickly. The wound healed very fast. There was no dry socket in either of the 4 cavities. There was no pain. She didn't need any painkillers, and we did not need the antibiotics either.
Do homeopathic remedies, for instance, in this course that you're going to be running, you have a homeopathic remedy for headaches. Is the remedy as quick and efficient as, for want of a better word, traditional Panadol?
Yes, absolutely. And that's the thing about homeopathic medicines in acute situations, which would be like that headache or the, any kind of pain, fever. If you have the right medicine, really within minutes you do feel an improvement, and I think that is just absolutely amazing because you don't have the side effects, and all pharmaceutical drugs do have side effects. So maybe not after one dose of Panadol, but if you're needing it more often, your liver, your stomach lining, all those things will be affected and have problems. Homeopathically, no side effect.
The first port of call, for instance, in my medicine cabinet will probably be, let's say, Panadol.
Yeah.
So when I've got a headache, I've got a puncture wound, I've got bruising, I've got swelling, I've got sore ligaments, tendons, the whole works, I just take the one pill.
Yeah.
Is that the same with homeopathic remedies? Is there just one homeopathic remedy?
No, I think that's also a bit of the problem with homeopathy. It's a little bit more complicated than that. Not only do we treat the person individually or address the person as an individual with a complaint, with a dis-ease, we also look at the individual problems. So there are some remedies or herbs that have an affinity to tendons, others to bones, others to circulatory system. So depending on what the issue is, we also address what's the cause. Is it muscle strain, or is it an injury to the muscle from, I don't know, maybe a blunt trauma, or is it just from overrunning? That would be a different kind of injury, so it would be a different kind of homeopathic medicine that we give.
How to learn all that? I mean, I know there's about 4,000 different remedies, and you are a certificated homeopathic
yes, a registered.
Registered,
yes.
That's right.
So there's a New Zealand Council of registered classical homeopaths.
But anyone can hang up a shingle, can't they?
Unfortunately, it's sort of like the master trade.
Yes.
I'm not saying by all means that a non-registered homeopath is bad and a registered one is excellent. You know how it is.
Sure. But at least when you walk through the door, if you're a registered practitioner,
yes,
one has to feel a bit better about it.
Proven that you're doing your CPD hours annually. You're constantly reading, upskilling. You're abiding by the code of ethics that the council has set down, and it gives the practitioner, but also the patient or the client, a sense of security. If there is a complaint, if there is a problem, then we can step in and help as council.
You're getting more and more people come to see you?
Oh, it has been so busy. I'm quite overwhelmed this month. Usually, December, January tends to be quiet because everyone's spending money on Christmas and holidays, and just keeps the money for those luxury, fun things, and puts health a bit aside. But I've had so many new people come. It's been amazing.
What do you put that down to?
I really don't know. Maybe it's word of mouth. Maybe it's just people need more help or are starting to look at alternatives.
Someone reached out to you from overseas, didn't they, via this program?
Yes,
Absolutely. It's amazing that someone from...
In California,
Yeah.
yes, and we did a Skype session, so that works really well.
So it's not just in Napier.
No,
it's
no.
everywhere, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That is awesome.
Modern technology, I guess.
That's incredible, isn't it? Scary.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? We're now doing radio with pictures. Who would have thought that could happen? Anyway, you've got a short course coming up. Tell us all about it.
Yes, so I have made these little pocket-sized homeopathic first aid kits so that people can literally just open it, have all the contact details, and you have this little information sheet about each and every vial that's in there. They're glass vials, and I refill them, so you never run out. And most of the moms that come to me, they will definitely have this kit, and it covers, I guess, all the first aid scenarios that you can imagine.
So what's in the vials? Little pills?
Yes, they all look alike. They're tiny white little pills. They all look alike because the milk sugar pillules are the carrier agent, and then the substance that's put on to those carriers, that defines which remedy it is.
Do they have a use-by date?
Well, if you purchase them in pharmacies, yes, there will be a date, but they don't have a use-by date. They will not go off if they're stored properly. So that's why they're in a dark container, so away from sunlight. You keep them away from electromagnetic fields like your mobile phone, your microwave. You keep them away from strong-smelling scents, definitely the sun. And if you store it and handle them properly, don't handle them so you wouldn't take all the pillules, put them in your hand and put them back. And if you do that, you can have them 20 years later.
Wow. Okay, so you've got this course coming up. When's it going to be on?
So it's on Sunday, the 15th of March, from 1 o'clock till 5 o'clock. It's 4 hours with a coffee break. And the idea is that I introduce each and every remedy. There are 12 in the kit, and we look at, there's a photo of it, there's the information about that plant or mineral, and the uses, indications, the aggravate, what to look for in order to decide why am I taking this over this. And if I were just to rattle down all remedies, after a while it would be overwhelming.
Indeed.
So what I do to lighten it up, there'll be a little bit about homeopathy. What is it? Then there'll be a remedy. Then there'll be about potency. We have different potencies. Those are strengths of the remedy. Why this potency versus this, depending on your issue. Dosage. Then the history of homeopathy. Then the difference between acute and chronic, then the difference between homeopathy and naturopathy. So all those information bits in between the remedies.
Now, in the box, in the little kit itself, there are 12 medicines.
Yes.
Tell us about them. Let's go through them one by one. Why do we need 12 in there?
Well, that's as many as I could fit in here.
That's a good answer.
No more. And I just tried to put together common ones that beginners, and they're in lower potencies, that you can just give a go. And the thing is, if you only take a homeopathic remedy a couple of times, 2-3 times, and that headache doesn't go within the hour, then it's the wrong remedy. You just stop. There's no aggravation, there's no side effect. If you were to continuously take it and take it and take it, then you could have a proving and create symptoms that remedy would like to relieve you of. So there's no harm done by trying it and then realizing, it hasn't changed anything. Okay, then just let it be.
That's interesting what you say about side effects. For instance, I know that if you take some powerful painkillers, it says that you've got to eat them with food.
Yes.
Or you've got to drink a litre of water with it.
Or you can't drive a car. You can't work machinery.
Yeah.
You won't have that problem. No.
Not at all.
No.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it?
No.
So why wouldn't you?
Exactly. That's my speech. And if it doesn't work, then you can still move on and take a painkiller, or you can take the antibiotics if the infection doesn't clear, or you can do all those things. So I'm not advocating against it.
No.
I'm just saying if I have a rash or a fever and I can take a homeopathic remedy and I'm fine, then why would I go to the aggressive without trying the natural first?
What makes you decide on these 12? I know they're the most common ones, but what makes you decide on that out of the 4,000 remedies? And for instance, for fear, shock, and fright, you've got Arcanite 200C. I suppose that's one of many homeopathic remedies that we could have for that. What makes you decide on that one?
Well, because it's not just the fear and fright, but in saying that, a friend of mine, they just came to visit and they have the kit, so it was in her handbag, and they were driving the South Island and a car crashed right in front of them. So they were the first people in the scene. They went to the accident site, pulled out the 2 victims who were pretty injured, in shock, and then someone came bicycling by who happened to be a Dutch doctor. And she said, all we have here until first aid comes, an ambulance, is this kit. I have remedies. Can I give arnica and aconite? And he said, absolutely, fantastic, yes. So she was like, wow,
yes,
grateful I had it. Aconite is also, if you have a sudden cold after cold wind. So you're out on the beach, the southerly, and you have an earache, and it's usually before midnight. You take some aconite or give it to that screaming child, and moms will know what I'm talking about, and it just relieves, and the next morning they're fine again.
And the beauty of that little kit there is that, I mean, for all the things here that we could talk about, we would normally either have to have a separate box of pills or a tube of medicine or some cream. And there you have it in a packet which is half the size of a cigarette packet.
Yeah, it's business card size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I should have said,
There you
business
go.
card instead of cigarette, shouldn't I? Because we need to be politically correct on this program.
Well, we're not advocating smoking, or we can. Yes, and there's another remedy or 2, arsenicum, which is homeopathic arsenic, and belladonna. So I put those 2 in because we were traveling in China and my son got food poisoning from McDonald's. We told him not to go there. So we watched him eat his McDonald's in China.
Yeah.
And that night, he had terrible food poisoning. It was really bad. And unfortunately, we were supposed to fly home the next day. He was vomiting. He was... it came out all ends with cramps, high fever, and I would like to say that every normal family would have had to cancel the flight. I gave him belladonna, and within 10 minutes, to answer your question, the fever dropped to normal temperature. The diarrhea and the vomiting stopped within 10 minutes of sipping the arsenicum. He slept another 2 hours. He got up, he showered, and we flew home.
Amazing.
And he was fine.
Are all homeopathic remedies in pill form, or you just mentioned he sipped on a remedy, so you can get liquid forms as well?
Well, you can, yes, and just 2 or 3 drops would be the equivalent to taking a little pill. But in acute cases, and that's what I teach people in this course, that was a very severe acute scenario. So you put the 1 pill in your glass of water, you stir it, and every 10 minutes he took a sip, just a sip. And he did that for half an hour, 40 minutes, some 3-4 times, fell asleep, and that was it.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're coming along to the course, and we have a chinwag about the advantages of homeopathic remedies. What if we took the wrong pill? Would that make any difference, or just wouldn't?
No, that's as I said, that if you just take it once, you would realize, my fever is still up.
Yeah.
Okay, hasn't worked. Then I need to look at a different remedy. Do I have a different one? And often I do have moms, they call me and said, I tried the pulsatilla for the earache. It didn't work. What else could I do? And then I know that they have this kit, so I know which remedies they have at home. Then I ask a few questions, and I might come up with, take that aconite, or take the gelsemium or whatever else is in your kit that might fit.
Can you tailor make the kits to a particular person about where they're going and what their condition is? And you say, well, here's your kit, Ken.
Absolutely.
You're going to need all this sort of stuff, and it might be completely different to what you've got there.
Absolutely, yeah. So there probably would be most of these, or at least half of them. But then in addition, yes, there would be other remedies that I could add depending on what country. I have a jet lag combo, which is absolutely amazing. It's about 5 different remedies that I've put together. I had the pharmacy put them together into one pilule. So all 5 medicated onto one pilule, and that works a charm. Outside
of this course, which is only $90,
you get your kit with it.
And you get the kit with it. Now, how much is that kit normally?
Well, $42 for the kit, and I refill for $3 each vial, so you never run out. It's never wasted. I also have a birthing kit, so to help moms through preparation of birth, birthing experience, and then issues, postpartum depression and lactation issues, healing from cesarean or just from labor, nerve pain, if coccyx is jammed and there's sciatica and those things. So that would be in the birthing kit. But then, so the price for the kits is always the same. And that $90 then covers the 4-hour lecture and comprehensive handouts.
And I guess we compare the price of your kit to, say, the price of those 12 different things that we might need. Your kit is probably worth 5 times less than what you pay normally for traditional creams and pills. And it's a very...
And if you look at the health benefits, I mean, so many people have reported back, and they come and go, I've used this. I've used the Apis for the bee stings, and the gelsemium for the anticipation anxiety or before going to the dentist. And we just all had the cold and flu, so we all took gelsemium, or I pinched my thumb in the car. So then they need the hypericum and the arnica, and before you know it, you've basically used half the kit.
Yeah, indeed. Look, we're just about out of time, Heidi. Just remind our listeners, we want to come and see you at your First Aid Homeopathic short course. Where is it on? When is it on? How much does it cost?
Well, it's $90. It's on Sunday, the 15th of March. It starts at 1 p.m. until 5, and there will be a short break in between. And
have you got a venue for it at the moment?
The venue will be announced as soon as I know how many people are coming. And I just encourage everyone to spread the word. It's on my Facebook, Thrive Homeopathy NZ. There's information on my website. You can contact me on 021-335233 and share the information. And I also encourage people who are a bit unsure, who've heard of homeopathy, who've maybe got some false perception about it, even the skeptics. Come, get yourself informed, give it a go, and then you can actually talk loudly about it as opposed to just putting it off as something that doesn't work.
Now, before we get to your thought for the day, what's your song?
Well, my song is from Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run, and that's what I hope my first aid kit will help you do.
And what's the thought for the week?
Well, I just wanted to mention a couple of names, and then the quote will be from one of those. So Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the world, he uses homeopathy because it doesn't have any side effects and there are no drugs in his system when he's competing as an athlete. The German national soccer team is treated homeopathically for the same reason. Catherine Zeta-Jones, famous actress, she said she could only survive the musical Chicago with arnica because she had a hamstring injury. Whoopi Goldberg, Tony Blair, Olivia Newton-John, Mark Twain, Abraham Lincoln, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, she even opened a hospital, a homeopathic one, and Tina Turner. And then Paul McCartney, who says, I can't manage without homeopathy. In fact, I never go anywhere without homeopathic remedies, and I use them often.
It's got one of your kits.
Probably not. I haven't met the good guy, but probably a kit similar, I would
Indeed.
assume.
What's the
Yes.
thought?
Well, my thought is give it a go, be open-minded, and try. Why not? You have nothing to lose and health to gain.
Good on you, Heidi. As always, our pleasure. You look after yourself. We'll talk to you
You
same
too.
time, same place next time.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.